Can't really say it was impressive. He just did what he was supposed to do. Ruslan Provodnikov defeated a fighter by the name of Jesus Alvarez Rodriguez, 4th round stoppage. But basically, the story of the fight is Ruslan Provodnikov is now trained by Joel Diaz. Joel Diaz, the former trainer of Timothy Bradley. And I wanted to see if Ruslan Provodnikov could cut off the ring. Now, in my opinion, the plan to beat Ruslan Provodnikov is to use all 4 corners of the ring and to stay away from him. You got to be able to have a jab and you got to be able to move, because already in this fight, in just the 2nd round, you heard Joel Diaz saying, don't just follow him around, because it looked like that's what Ruslan Provodnikov was doing. Now, I understand it's early, and it was early in the fight, whatever the case may be. Ruslan was trying to find a rhythm, but he did get the stoppage. In my opinion, I think the stoppage was a little premature, but at the same time, there was a point in time in the fight. By the way, you can go to my like page where you can actually see the knockout. There was a point in time in the fight where Ruslan had hit this Rodriguez kid with a left hook, and he just started doing like this, like literally, like just started doing like this little dance thing, and the referee stepped in for no apparent reason when Ruslan could have went for the kill. So it was clear that this guy couldn't take the power of Ruslan from the very beginning, but still, I'm still concerned about if a Ruslan Provodnikov fights maybe a Timothy Bradley in a rematch, which I doubt. Well, it could happen. It could happen. Or a Chris Algieri in a rematch, which I believe those should be, in my opinion, the 2 big fights he should go after. A rematch with Timothy Bradley or a rematch with Chris Algieri. Because at this point in time, he's 1 loss away from being, somewhat of a journeyman in a way. Not a journeyman. He's not going to be that low. But when it comes to how to beat Ruslan Provodnikov, it's pretty clear. So if he can beat a Chris Algieri or beat a Timothy Bradley, if Timothy Bradley's smart, Timothy Bradley will stay away from him and not try to engage this time, then maybe Ruslan can get a win. But right now, it's not really too many big fights out there for him, because he's fighting at, well, not too many big fights out there for him that he can win, because if you don't know, he's fighting at 147 pounds right now, and it's not known whether he can make or go back down to 140 or not. So he's been bouncing between 140 and 147 for the last couple of years now. Last loss against Martin Matthysse, that was at 140 pounds, but still, I'm still lost on where to place Ruslan Provodnikov. Like, he's an exciting fighter to an extent, but, just watching this fight for those 4 rounds, I'm thinking that if this guy had somewhat of a chin, like, in my opinion, he won 3 of the 4 rounds outside of the round he got knocked out in my opinion, not Ruslan Provodnikov, but this Rodriguez kid. So I'm watching the fight. Now, mind you, commentary is not influencing me because they're speaking in Russian. I don't know what the hell is going on. And all I see is this kid just moving around the ring and Ruslan using head movement, and not cutting off the ring. So I'm thinking that if this guy was able to keep this up for, maybe 4 or 5 rounds and not get knocked out, he would have been well ahead on the cards, because Ruslan, in my opinion, wasn't even throwing enough punches. But it was early in the fight. He did what he was supposed to do. He got the knockout, and that's all that matters. I guess we're looking at where does he go from here. Now, if you don't know, he was supposed to be fighting Amir Khan. The network that agreed, they were going to broadcast Amir Khan versus Ruslan Provodnikov. Ruslan Provodnikov team agreed. At one point in time, Khan's team was on board, and then Khan pulled out for whatever reason, stating that he had a Floyd Mayweather fight out there. A Manny Pacquiao fight out there, which Bob Arum said wasn't true, but we're not going to turn this into a Amir Khan video. T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. Later on tonight, after HBO 24/7 Cotto versus Canelo, and after Bradley versus Rios, we're going to be going more in depth on boxing, and I'm going to be doing a live streaming show right here on the channel, and you're going to see basically. Go to the channel, you're going to see T Street After Dark, and it's going to say something like starting in like the next 3-4 hours. That's going to be the link for the actual live streaming, and what you'll be able to do is you got to send me a friend request on Facebook. All my social media is in the description box. You got to scroll all the way down to the bottom, send me a friend request, give me your Gmail address, and then if you want to join on the post-fight live discussion, which will be a live streaming show, then I'll be able to add you in. T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Please subscribe.